Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Bulletin. My name is Daryl Kwao. Now, 46% of Ghanaian businesses have expressed satisfaction with the business environment in the country. That is according to the Business Barometer survey by the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, for the second quarter of this year. The report, which surveyed about 461 businesses, indicates that more than 70% of businesses have high expectations in the economy for the next quarter of the year. Meanwhile, cost of electricity topped challenges faced by businesses in the country, followed by cost of credit and access to credit, respectively. Vice President of AGI, Humphrey Danke, tells Joy Business policy measures, including tax cuts experienced in the last 6 months, contributed to the result of the survey.
And the policies and the initiatives as articulated by the current government sat well with the business community, and you could see that coming out of as a result of the election results. People of this kind that table their concerns or their positive intent was demonstrated in the election, and it went that particular way. Further on, in our analysis, it combines all the sides of the election. It doesn't really matter. We are dealing purely with business matters. It then goes to indicate what are your expectations out of this said policy. This is what we are reflecting in the second quarter. Considering what they have done within the first 6 months, which comprises the first and second quarter, this is what we aggregate, translate into tangibles, and average them and take the 5 key issues that businesses believe once the interventions are well done, it will impact on their businesses.
I was looking out for one issue, but I couldn't find it, highlighting in the report, especially the issue of multiplicity of taxes. Yeah. What happens this time around? Because we all heard Yes.
All right, so then it goes back to what the politicians or the managers of the economy said. They call them nuisance taxes. So all these said nuisance taxes have been scrapped off to some extent. So in our first 5 priority list, it did not indicate. It therefore tells how sensitive our business barometer is. It goes to imply that the 17.5% taken from the services of the commercial banks has made some impact. There are various taxes that have been reduced from the port to the construction sector, that in terms of housing, and that of aviation taxes, and even the one on the levies on energy has made some significant impact. That is why you not see it in the first 5, and tells you that the business barometer is very sensitive to policy and its implementation.
Now, stakeholders of cross-border trade in some West African countries have been deliberating on the best ways to counter bottlenecks to free trade along Ghana's trade corridors by close of this year. This follows the successful advocacy towards the removal of internal police and customs checkpoints within trade corridors, which takes effect this month. Here's more in this report.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, revealed these developments when delivering a speech under the theme, Opportunities and Challenges of Unlocking the ECOWAS Market. She noted that trade along the Northern Trade Corridor has been a major source of concern. She entreated all stakeholders to work closely to ensure that trade competitiveness within the SAP region is enhanced.
The ineffective implementation of road governance measures has the potential of reducing the competitiveness of our shippers in relation to other competitors in the sub-region. A 2010 study from the World Bank has shown that a 10% increase in road transport costs reduces trade by 20%, which ultimately limits economic growth. It is therefore imperative that issues of bottlenecks to trade along our corridors be given the needed attention in such a way that it does not reduce the competitiveness of our shippers and, crucially, the long-term economic prospects of Ghana and the West African region as a whole.
On her part, Deputy Chief Executive for the Shippers Authority, Sylvia Asana-Dauda-O, revealed plans are far advanced to lift the VAT on transit trade in the country. She says the current levies on transit trade, which were expected to be removed since 2011, continues to affect Ghana's trade ties with landlocked countries.
The tracking devices, these are benefits that we can even quantify, but as much as I know that there are some benefits along the corridor that we can't even quantify. Employment opportunities, revenue, and all that. So these are issues that we are working closely with other stakeholders to remove bottlenecks along the corridor to facilitate the transit trade. As you are aware, our study also indicated that even though as a country we seem to be increasing in statistics as far as transit trade is concerned, when you compare it to our neighbors along the corridor, we are not doing well at all. We are not doing well. This is because of the measures they have put in place as a country to attract the transit business. And I think as a country, we need to look at it to remove the levies that are not really necessary as far as this business is concerned.
Meanwhile, some stakeholders also share their thoughts on the timeliness of this move by the ship.
Ghana has been going down on the index, but the fact that the comparability with the other countries with which we are competing to become a gateway, the gap is becoming narrower. And that is, in my personal opinion, a much more serious issue.
To the Ashanti Regional, where coordinator of the Technology Consultancy Center at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Donald Amrago, has reiterated the need for greater partnership between the formal and informal industrial sectors for accelerated economic growth. He says both sectors cannot exist in isolation in Ghana's quest for socio-economic breakthrough. Mr. Amrago was speaking at a vacation training program at Swami Maxen for students of KNUST College of Engineering. Love Businesses Kwesi Deborah reports.
Benjamin Rosal Kwe is a third-year mechanical engineering student of KNUST. Together with 4 of his colleagues, he is undertaking internship at David Yao Frimpong Limited. It is their last day of an 8-week program of fabricating machine parts.
But you have to dig the two in from
Proprietor David Yao Frimpong is today taking them through how the wood lathe machine works. He has done the job for 29 years.
Stand this way.
Okay. Benjamin and his friends are impressed as they can now apply what they've learned in school.
This is one of the machines that Master Frimpong, with the help of some of our colleagues, were able to fabricate. What we see here is actually a wood lathe. Okay, this wood lathe functions the same as the center lathe that we use to machine metal. Now, what we use this lathe to do is to machine wood. Okay, so the function is similar to the center lathe. Okay.
Mr. Frimpong is overwhelmed by their output so far.
Okay, it has been, they have imparted some theoretical knowledge to us concerning IT-wise. They have imparted knowledge in the AutoCAD use of drawing, using the AutoCAD, another software to make sketches on the computer. The same way we have imparted some practical knowledge to them.
The KNUST Technology Consultancy Center helps students to collaborate with the informal industrial sector. Authorities prepare students to meet the needs of industry and boost the country's economy. Donald Amrago is coordinator.
The formal and informal industrial sector cannot exist in isolation. In the absence of high-tech, our indigenous artisans learn the trade either by observing or following their masters. And it means that there was always a cycle of what your master knew, you always also learn that one. But the impact of the university is to add new ideas, turning theory into practice. And the impact most is the 21st century IT or the presence of ICT in innovation.
Dr. Michael Apalu is director of the center.
Yeah, the vacation training is an integral part of the coursework for the students. Now we realize that the academic, the structure of the academic work is said that the students don't have the opportunity to do more of these practical things. And as we know, engineering is a practical work. It's something that hands-on is needed. And so this slot of time period has been set aside for third-year students so that they can have a practical feel. So they come to the field, they work with the artisans who also have the practical side but do not know much of the theory.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
Now, some stakeholders in the fabrics and garments industry have welcomed government's planned bid for new strategic partners to revamp the Volta Star Textiles Limited. They believe revamping the company will be a huge relief for the industry in line with government's industrialization agenda. This follows some revelations that the company is facing dire financial crisis for some time now. There's more in the following report.
Minister of Trade and Industry Alan Chomanting announced a decision to open the bid for new potential investors last week, citing the inability of the initial investors' Bullion Investment Consortium to inject the expected capital of $13 million into the company's operations for a 70% stake. He noted the company is also to be considered for government stimulus package. The United States Agency of International Development, USAID Ghana, also says it will be considering support for the initiative. Kevin Sharp is the office director at the Economic Growth Department.
You know, typically for USAID, whether it's trade or whether it's helping to improve production in the agriculture sector, for example, in Ghana, we look at the entire value chain. And so if one of the major constraints is raw materials, and if that's textiles, then that's something that we would certainly look at. We're not currently doing any work in that specifically right now, but it's something that we would look at for sure.
The chief executive of Sleek Garment and Exports Limited, Nora Banaman Abbott, tells Joy Business the decision couldn't have come at a better time.
I remember that we had textile companies, some able to produce fabrics to make the shirts that you're wearing now. Somewhere along the way, with policies that allowed an open market, allowing exports in here and there, without some form of control, we killed our local textile industry, leaving even those producing specialized areas like African print struggling. And that is where we went wrong. But it's too late to go back on that. What we need is to generate business. We need more orders coming in. As the orders grow, investors in the textile sector will also choose to make here a destination to establish their businesses. We are importing most of our fabrics from China, whether on the open markets or directly for our business, you know, where we could actually produce these here and generate jobs for our people. So we need to take a look at all of this. But it is a challenge for us. And looking at my sector, for instance, out of my sector, we could generate businesses for manufacturers of fastenings like zippers, buttons, little parts for machinery. You know, it's such a huge opportunity for us if we get things right. And I believe this is why this government has chosen my sector, the garment sector, as one area, garments and textiles as one area, or chosen it as a pillar to help develop our economy. And I believe they're on the right track.
An evaluation by PricewaterhouseCoopers shows a minimum of 20 million Ghana cedis may be required to make Volta Star Textiles viable, given its total debt of 13.4 million Ghana cedis as at May 2017.
Now, some disgruntled workers of the Wari mines this morning picketed the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources in Accra. They are blaming administrators of the company for the thriving illegal mining on its concessions. They also accuse their leadership of leasing part of the company's concession to small-scale miners, which end up attracting illegal operations. Addressing the staff, the sector minister, John Peter Mewu, requested a one-week ultimatum to finally deal with the matter.
The issue of the illicit mining activities of the Galamsey is what the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has been talking about all this time. So what you are doing, you are even supporting our cause. As a new government, the president is totally against illicit mining on several platforms. If you listen to the president, he said he is not against mining. We will want to mine, but mine in a more sustainable manner. The delay in payment of salaries and the treatment that have been meted to you, it's highly unacceptable. Currently, I understand the mine is under maintenance, but maintenance for such a long period cannot be acceptable at all. I'm going to call for the concession owners, give me a minimum of a week. I'm going to call for them immediately and find out if they cannot, find money to develop the mine. I mean, the alternative is to leave the mine to prospective investors that want to develop the mine and engage people like you. Each day in and out, a lot of people come here looking for concessions, like your site. And the Konongo mine, as we are aware, is a very prospective area. The belt is very rich. And so for the owners of the concession to tactically converted the mine to an illicit mining because it's cheaper for them, they don't pay tax, they don't engage a lot of people, they mine without environmental issues. This cannot continue. I can assure you that it's not going to continue. I visited where this incident happened. I was there about 2 weeks ago on my way to Kumasi. I stopped to have a look at it, and it's something that we will not accept. I'm promising you we will come to the site. I have not had an official visit to the site, but we will come. But this issue definitely will be resolved. And as I stated earlier on, I'm calling the concession owners immediately.
What will be the sanction for them? Because they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah,
I remember JoyNews, we reported it.
That is why I'm visiting the place as quickly as possible. And if it's established, of course, we will quickly shut it down. As a big mine or as a large-scale mining operation, they're supposed to mine, mine and engage people like you. But if they intentionally convert the mine to galamsey, what they do is that they come for large-scale construction and then they call something tributary system, and I'm sure that is what they are doing. We will not accept it. So I will be visiting the mine within the shortest possible time, and if that is what is happening, we'll automatically have to shut it down. And if they don't have the resources to expand and operate the mine, they need to relinquish the construction for us to look for another, prospective, investors to engage in the mining activity.
Well, the leader of the group, who is also the General Secretary of the Ghana Mine Workers Union, Konongo branch, Francis Owusu, said they were satisfied with the minister's response for now, but would hold him to the 1-week promise to resolve their concerns. He tells Joy Business they are ready to cooperate with the ministry in finding a lasting solution to the issues.
Satisfied with the response from the minister, because we believe that the minister is an action man. If you look at all this current government, I can say that this minister is the most vibrant one that we all know. And I believe that all this while our petition hasn't got into his desk or his office, that is why he has not been able to.
Is it not curious? Whom have you submitted the petition to, and how come it hasn't got into the minister?
We submitted to the secretary to his office.
You mean the secretary to the minister?
Yes. And we believe that let's give him the benefit of that he has not received the letter, and give him that one week that he has given to us to respond to our petition. And we'll go back to Konongo and wait for him for the next 1 week. If you don't get any positive response, you will come back here. We can only give him that 1 week that he has asked for us to give it to him to address our concerns. And we will go back to Konongo and wait for his response so far as our unpaid salary is concerned and the illegal mine activities being perpetrated by the directors of the company.
What has been your engagement with the local authorities, i.e. the chiefs in the area, the district assembly, and then the MP? Because they are in the locality and they should know best what the issues are before coming to Accra.
My brother, we have written a petition to even our MP for Asante Ashim, Honorable Animedu, and as we speak, we didn't hear from him. I sent him a copy of the petition that we sent to the minister, and he didn't find out from us what is actually the problem. And with regards to the MISEC, we have had a MISEC meeting on 3 consecutive times. They even invited the director that we are talking about in the person of Eric Williamson, and he refused to come. The third time that he came to promise that he's going to pay us on 27th of March. And that thing didn't materialize. And as we speak, they didn't do anything about it.
We are turning to fuel now because the Institute of Energy Security says with a relatively stable local currency, a stable crude oil price on the international market, a low fuel stock, and the continuous rise in the price of gasoline and gas oil on the global market, it foresees fuel prices at the pump to rise marginally. IES says it is still monitoring the implementation of the National Petroleum Authority's reviewed standard of fuel, scheduled to begin today, the 1st of August, from the initially proposed 1st of July 2017. Richmond Roxon is a principal officer of the IES.
Crude oil prices have been fairly stable as we speak. A barrel is around $49, so they didn't have any impact. It's not so different from what happened in the previous window. The CD has also been relatively stable as we speak. It's an average of 4 cedis, 38 pesos as well. You also take into consideration the stock level that we have. Gasoline levels we know are on the low, but we have enough diesel, and we're also expecting vessels to discharge very soon, so we'll be okay with that. For finished products, for the Platts benchmark that we use, we know that the gasoline went up by about 2%, gas oil also went up by about 3%, so we're expecting that it's going to have an impact on pricing in this very window.
So at the end of the day, what would be the impact? Is it going to be negative? Is it going to be positive? Is it going to, are the prices going to go up? Are they going to decline?
No, we're expecting prices to go up by about 2.5%, especially when MPA has also revised the standards that we have. We all know that we're doing 3,000 ppm. From 1st of August, that's today, we are going to be doing 50 ppm. It was supposed to start.
But we're told that it's not going to have any effect on pricing.
No, it's not. It's not possible. Anybody who says that is not possible. What it is that perhaps the market is going to absorb the cost, but definitely, because when you look at the Platts benchmark, the benchmark that we're using to set prices was 1,000 ppm. As of now, we are coming to 50 ppm. They're not the same. They're two different. Like when you go to a filling station and you want V power, which is around 95, it's not the same pricing as the other one. So prices are going to shoot up a bit. It's not going to be the same, unless of course.
What percentage are we looking at?
2.5% at most. That's what we are looking at.
Across all, I mean.
Yes, for gasoline. Yes, for gasoline and gas oil as well.
All right, time to bring you our interview of the day. We've been engaging the Chief Executive of the Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, who has been explaining to Joy Business some steps the authority is exploring by end of year to boost trade between shippers in Ghana and other countries within the West African sub-region.
Interview of the day. Start our mid-year review under the Ministry of Trade. So all agencies are going to present their plans, our challenges, and then the way forward. So whatever we're doing is part of the ministry's grand plan.
But what happens to be the reforms that you plan taking in your tenure?
Actually, as you know, the mandate of the Ghana Shippers Authority is to promote and protect the interests of shippers across the country. What I would like to see is more engagement with the shipper at the grassroots. You know, I don't believe in having just committee meetings, but the people who are down there, they are those who make us relevant. The shipper at Okanshi, the shipper at Kantamanto, the shipper at Kokompe, the shipper in Timber Market. These are the people who make us relevant, and I believe we should go there and engage them to find out what their issues are, to proactively help them rather than wait for them to come to, because a lot of them don't even know about our existence. So I believe in going down to the grassroots to engage those people. We are looking at putting up this truck park at Akatichua. This is something that would directly benefit the shipper. Currently, we have a lot of investments by way of this building, which is good, I mean, but the shipper would want to see a lot more tangible things that directly benefit them. So these are the things that we're looking at. We already have some warehouses in place, but we're looking to put up more of them so that the shipper can benefit. It makes it easier for them to do business. It makes it easier for them to store their goods. So these are the things that we're looking to do, not staying at our level, taking care of our needs, but taking care of those who make us relevant. So that is how we're looking to move forward.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
Interview of the day.
And thanks for being good company. As always, you can get to watch the show again on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kyle. I'll see you tomorrow.